Hello everybody, welcome to another video from you-know-who, Modified Darvis Box, MDB, your favorite stock market guy on the internet, or maybe your only one, I don't know, who cares. Um, Doing a weekend review video for new people who aren't aware of my stuff. I made an investment system based on this book by Nicholas Darvis. Check it out on Amazon, it's really good. Here's an example of a bullish Darvis box pattern. And here's an example of a bearish Darvis box pattern. Amazing, incredible. Who knew? So let's get into it. A lot of interesting stuff that happened this week. Let's look at the indexes real quick here. I was bitching and moaning all during the week. Oh, prices suck, the dailies, whatever. But you know what? Actually, sideways markets are kind of like that. They sort of torture you to death. And right now, we really are in a sideways market. The S&P 500 is going sideways in a Darvis box. A box is just a rectangle, but I got to give Nicholas Darvis some props because he laid the foundation for my system here. Here is the Nasdaq. Whoa, darn indexes. Here's the Nasdaq. Same thing. This pissed me off so much. Look at this. It was moving up out of the Darvis box. It was holding. Does the daily holding, and then finally went back down into the box here. So not a breakout, but the fact that it's near the top edge of one is very promising. IWM, the Russell 2000. Look at this. Went up on big green volume. Doink, hit the top of the box, came down. But you know what? A couple of weeks of going sideways, and this might be for CanSlim O'Neill IBD fans, that could maybe even be a cup and handle. But I'm not very good at those patterns. I have a hard time seeing them, but there are people on the internet who are very good at them. But those are the big three indexes, and you can see all going sideways, even if it's feels like just water torture. But let's look at some of the good stocks holding up. AMBA, textbook Darvis box breakout. Look at that. Earnings, big green volume. Now, you know what? Look at this. It's gone up like 20%. So now it's going to figure out, do we come down a little bit? Do we go sideways, or does it keep going up? My money says that this one probably keeps going up. Boeing broke out of a box last week. Volume's a little light, but look at that. It's sort of hanging tough, trying to figure out what it wants to do. DOCU. This is one of the big new breakouts coming. And look at that. Even though the week kind of sucked, the buyers were just coming at it, taking it, take it. So DOCU is looking real good. We put it on a monthly. It doesn't look so weird. It looks weird on the monthly. Put it on the daily, and look at it. They're just coming into the market every day and buying some more. So that one's very positive. Here's one that got attacked by short sellers, those nasty short sellers. But you know what's funny? It got attacked last week, and now look at it. Whoosh, rocket ship, textbook Darvis box breakout. The shorts are wildly wrong on this one. And in future weeks, maybe they'll be correct. But right now, it looks just really bad. All they did was shake people out of good positions. And and people wonder why people dislike short sellers. It's because of this. It's because they caused a lot of panic and uncertainty, and now look at it. It rebounds and launches a lot higher. Here's one I like a lot. Just go out to a Shake Shack and go order some food. You're paying a lot of money for regular old fast food, and the restaurants are always crowded. It's going higher. Look at this. Look at this. That's just going higher. And on Friday, it got some big green volume on the daily. I tell you, that's one tell, which is really helpful at finding what's going to be the next big winners. Look for those volume spikes on the daily. Right now, this market is pounding the companies that have not very good futures, and you see that with the red volume. And the ones that are potentially going to be the good ones, they get the green volume. Don't make this game harder than it has to be. That's all. That's my opinion on that. All right, a few stocks that are sort of, didn't have very good weeks or sort of struggling a little bit. This is the modest middle, I guess. Costco, man, that took off on the breakout, but something happened and big sellers showed up. So yeah, this whole breakout has been muted. It might still go up, but it might go up at a much slower pace. But if you bought anywhere in this box area, bought the breakout, you should be doing pretty good at this point. You got a smidge of a profit there, but keep an eye on that in case it gets worse. What's another one that wasn't doing so hot here? Whoops. CVNA. Okay, CVNA, not so hot here. Yeah, it broke out on the volume there. It's been trying to climb, but man, these last 2 weeks, they've just been pounding this thing. Look at these red bars here. You got to take note of that stuff because I'm bullish on this stock, and yet I'm waiting for it to just crash down here and come back down to maybe the 60s, maybe the low 70s. The car business is a tough business right now, so yeah, there's definitely some reasons why it's not ripping to 100, but you got to look at these warning signs. Those are tells. It's still positive here, but it's teetering on the edge. Let's look at a couple that going sideways in a box here, but I think has a good potential. BRFS, I've been talking about this one a lot. This one is it's a Brazilian food company. Basically, they sell to China. That's the whole thesis. China is hungry. COUP, I like COUP. On the weekly, big read volume, got some selling, but man, the sellers just couldn't knock it down. I think eventually this one's gonna launch and take off, but timing, who the heck knows? I don't really know on the timing. ENPH, that short selling attack hit it last week, and it's rebounded, but nowhere near to the level that SEDG has rebounded. So now I think that gives you a clear 1 and 2 leadership. SEDG is the clear leader. This one is it's like Batman and Robin. This one's Robin. Here's a notable one, Etsy. I noticed Etsy last week. This here is like a character change. Look, got some green volume after all this red. But what's amazing to me is they kept coming for it. And especially in the lousy daily tape, they just kept going for it. Yeah, I think something's up on Etsy. You're going to want to watch this one. It might be a buy. It's not in a box or anything, so it may need more sideways time. But put that one on your list, definitely. One more for the bulls, potential bulls. Snap. Man, why do stocks torture us like this? Last week was just torture if you were along. You had to endure these 2 wicked days. But if you held through that, now you're loving it. But man, it's like you got to go through hell to get to heaven. It's just so unfair. But right now, if you're a bull and if you hung on, you got to be loving this setup here. It's just set up to go higher. Snap looks pretty good. Let's see here. Oh, here's one that's just starting a new box. PSNL. Only reason I've flagged it for this video, look at this big volume here on the weekly. It's not that big, but it's the biggest since the IPO. Biggest volume since then. So you don't necessarily have to rush out and buy it, but just put it on your list and keep an eye on it. Okay, a couple of the crap ones. Roku. Gosh. Man, the People's Champion, boy, did it get dumped. Biggest volume, well, selling volume was the biggest since that early buying way back when. This is what you see when everybody is bailing. And you know what? When people are bailing, to me, that does not mean you rush in where others are selling. You'll just get trampled by elephants. Don't do it. This year, to me, is a big avoid. Yeah, it's still technically in a Darvis uptrend because it's above the box. But is it really going to be going higher? I'm doubtful. To me, it's just an avoid. No reason to play. You'll just get hurt. I wouldn't do it. But if you do make money, more power to you. Lulu, this one I'm crying about. I freaking bought $600 worth of Lulu shirts, and this is how Lulu repays me. The nerve. I feel like I got stabbed in the back. It broke out on big volume 2 weeks ago on the earnings. Then it ran into some trouble, and now look at this. It broke the top of the box. I got stopped out. This trade, I didn't really lose any money, but I sure didn't make any money. It's just friggin' annoying. But it is what it is. I'll be watching Lulu for a fresh new breakout, but until then, you just gotta live with it. Look at Xilinx here, XLNX. This one here, fresh new Darvis box breakdown. To me, this one is ripe for shorting, for betting against it. Is it going to zero? No, it is not. But maybe between 75 and 90, perhaps? I think there's money to be made on the short side. Now, keep in mind that this could be a spot where the bulls all of a sudden decide, no further. That could happen. So you got to weigh the odds, weigh the percentages. If that does happen, I'll be surprised, but you just got to roll with it. So you could try this short, but if it turns around, don't be too surprised. One name that just barfed, Chewy, reported earnings and no dice on this one. That one here is a Darvis box breakdown. And look, it's on the big red volume. Yeah, you know what? You could have been shorting this one. You bet against it. Probably will go lower. A lot of times IPOs do go lower. Finally, one more negative one with a bearish box breakdown. Square, SQ. Broke last week. Now it's just building on it. If it turns around, I'll be amazed. In my opinion, Square is definitely going lower. So that's what we have for this week. Oh, and a couple of Twitter requests. OPRA. Does this look bullish to you? God, if you say yes, I'll strangle you. No, this looks bearish. You've got big red volume here. It had a box breakout right there, so that was very, very bullish. You should be excited. But then you get to this week. Look at this week. It just got dumped. And the warning sign was probably right here in September 6th and 9th, where it just gave up the ghost. And then, it just looked like it was pushing lower. And then, the bottom fell out. Not good at all. To me, that one is avoid. AUDC, this is the other one. Looks pretty darn good. Not easy to hold. It goes up, comes back, goes up, comes back. But look at that. The boxes are all stair-stepping. If you're long this from the original breakouts down here, then sit on it. Don't do anything. If you've managed to hang on to this one at all, don't do anything. Look at all the big green volume. It's very promising. It's a small company, but I like it. You might be looking at a double in the next 6 months. All right, and last request, CYBR. Does this look bullish to you? Instead, it tried to break out back here in July. It's looking good, and whoa, got dumped on. This weekly bar here in August is your warning sign. Something's not right. If it can't hold a breakout, then you shouldn't be holding it. Continued to break down, and it's just going down, down, down. Now, it might turn around here and go back higher. Maybe this is a low, But you know what? I think it's easier to be buying strength breakouts than it is to be buying weakness and pullbacks, breakdowns, whatever you want to call it. So to me, I would just be watching this one. Just avoid it. No need to play. So that's my video for the week. Hope you enjoy it. If you have any questions, let me know.